I will say one thing, Jason wasn't as bad of a patient. All he wanted to do was go fish on Crystal Lake. Remember his styling, but Michael, no, Michael, goddamn Michael wants to carve a pumpkin, goddamn Michael.
What's good? Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch a Movie. I'm Mike, he's Jay. Halloween Horror Month continues. We're doing all the Freddy's, all the Jasons. God damn! Oh, Michael's a sick. God damn, gotta get deep, man.
Oh, right. Fucking crack.
Woo! Hey! This is one of my favorite fucking, if not my favorite Jasons. We're gonna save the rankings till we get done with all these videos. So we'll talk about that another time. But I fucking love Friday the 13th. The not so final chapter.
But, you know, yeah, it's called the final chapter. We all know that's a fucking lie, and I'll sue you for libel. But no, but it's not the final chapter. I mean,
Liar whore, liar whore!
But it does have one of the more memorable characters in it, which is Tommy, played by Corey Feldman. And just having Feldman in this movie, especially in '84, brings the '80s retro feel to it all the way around. The other three were in the '80s, but this one really felt like an '80s slasher movie, and that's one of the coolest things about this to me. You had a lot more cooler characters in it. I mean, we got Crispin Glover as a guy in it, which is crazy to see him in that. I mean, McFly, anybody home? Think, McFly, think.
Dead fuck.
But anyhow, Corey Feldman and family live out in a nice cabin on the wood, and that cabin's fucking dope as shit that he lives in. That's a nice cabin. His parents are separated. He lives there with his sister and his mom. And this group of kids rent like a house next door to them, because again, I guess it's like one of those like, I don't know, retreats. Again, one of those retreats. It's not the camp, but it's on Crystal Lake. But that's just the main part of why the teenagers all get there. But let's talk about Jason real quick. So Jason, at the very beginning of the movie, we have a full-on SWAT team in the goddamn barn area, and it's nighttime. At the end of the third one, it was daytime, and then they must have come back like, oh, we forgot the body.
We forgot Jason.
We forgot to get all the bodies. So they come back, it's all night, it's lit up, and then we see Jason lying dead on the barn floor. And you've got this scene where they're talking about him, and that's just pretty cool. They're like, oh, yeah, he got 9 kids this time or whatever, and he's like, this fucker's dead, and now we can take him to morgue. And they're putting him on the back of the ambulance, and the ambulance drivers were kind of dicks. They're like, everybody's dead? Because waste of a real emergency. But, you know,
I threw away half a burrito.
They pack his ass up on the ambulance. One girl's skittish, the ambulance driver. She's like, which is weird, they even gave her some screen time because she really didn't have anything to do with the movie afterwards. Because I hadn't seen the movie in a while. I thought maybe Jason was going to do a Halloween 4 or 5.
Thumb to the fucking...
Yeah, and pop him out of the back of the ambulance and fuck some shit up. But no, they get to the morgue, and there's this weird guy that's working the morgue.
I love this guy.
And the guy's like he doesn't care. Like, he's eating a sandwich, he puts it on Jason. He's like, let me sign the papers. And he's like, one of the girls they brought in was pretty attractive. And he's like, he goes, she was attractive. He's like, well, she still is. All you gotta do is go back there and look.
Go back there, take your pants off. He's like, just stop, Dave, or whatever the fuck his name was.
And then, so while that's, you know, he I guess dissects him and he's gonna put him in the morgue, and he's trying to hit on this nurse lady, which is, she's pretty smoking, she's alright, and she's like, I'm really not in the mood, I've got a fucking headache. He's like, what does that mean? Like, I don't care, just meet me in the ice room and we'll fuck, like, I'll make it better. And she's
he's
like,
just watching that weird aerobic porn.
I mean, that's all you got, but she comes in to have sex with him, and at this point, Jason's body is still in there, so they're gonna have fuck while a body is like right next to him. I mean, God, I remember college, savage. But anyhow, Jason does wake up eventually. I mean, that axe to the head only takes so. I mean, he had a really bad headache and then he pops some leaf.
The best part though is when his hand falls and it touches her butt cheek while they're about to be.
I'd be so mad at Jason. He's like, Jesus fucking Christ,
Christmas Eve, fuck shit.
Yeah, he's so mad. I would be mad too.
He was like Ace Ventura, dude, but I loved it. It made me like that character even more because it's just weird that they left that in there because it was so over the top. But I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah, she runs outside and then Jason does wake up and that scene at the very beginning, the first death, was brutal as shit. Like, he takes like a medical saw and saws this motherfucker head off, then twists it around.
And Savini was like, I'm back, you motherfuckers, because he only came back to kill the creation in which he started.
Yeah, so, that went down, then he kills the nurse, and then we're back with the kids going to the lake, and we have a little bit of backstory with Feldman. Like I said, we find out that his parents are separated. He's got a good relationship with his sister and mom. But again, he's so fucking 80s and it's so badass. Like, he's at the very beginning, and he's also into like creature effects and stuff like that. He's like, he loves making props. got some talent because he like customized all
There's
those
no
masks.
fucking way that kid living out in the cabin had the fucking materials and the talent to make those, but that's okay.
I mean, who knows what you can do.
It's still rad as fuck.
With ingenuity, anything's possible. If you believe in yourself, you can do anything.
Yeah, this is just like, movie quality shit that I made here in my cabin with a pencil.
But he's also, I think it was cool that, they walk in, he's playing on a Commodore 64, playing like a retro like video game, and that's all cool and shit. I don't know, it was awesome to see that. I don't know why I like that so much, but the whole feel of the movie just felt so good.
Yeah.
And so then we cut to Crispin Glover and crew driving in a station wagon up to the camp, or up to the resort or whatever, and Crispin Glover's in the back. He's like, I mean, she at first took my calls, but then she didn't take my calls, and he's like, what the fuck happened? I mean, that sounds like a real conversation that you'd have with your friend. Like, dude, I mean, everything was great, normal, and then she gave me the cold shoulder, and now I'm fucking horny.
And Teddy, who's like the jokester kid, he's got kind of the unrealistic, inflated ego, like self-grandiose ego about himself. But
He looked like an extra from Grease too.
Yeah, and he's talking to him. He's like, "Let me run this through my computer." It's like, it says you're a dead fuck, and he's like, a dead fuck? Like whatever Crispin Glover's fucking madness is. And that whole scene apparently was completely ad-lib. Like those two hung out a lot off the set, so they just completely went off the rails off the script and made some classic ass lines in that. I respect the shit out of that.
Then you got the typical virgin type girl that doesn't want to really do anything. Then you have the slut girl that does everything with her man. And the guy that she's involved with, Paul, just looks like such a fucking little leaguer asshole. Like he started in Little League and now he plays on the varsity team in baseball, and he's still douchey, but he's not really good looking, but he's only getting ass because he's a varsity player.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just seemed like
This shit's temporary, dog.
He didn't even seem like interesting. Like I guess they just left him out, like the hunk, but he's not even like hunky. I mean, the one guy that actually kind of reminded me of Johnny Depp, dude, was the dude that wanted to get with the virgin girl. I thought that was Johnny Depp at first. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you thought Johnny Depp. I thought young Jared Leto.
Yeah, he looked like one of those guys. And
whole package.
Again, he was the quiet one, and he didn't really have much screen time either.
Yeah.
And the only thing we were missing was a fat guy, but we got a fat guy coming up in 5, so that's fine. Almost a rival Shelley.
And then the Doublemint twins show up, and good times at Ridgemont High. Fuck! They show up.
I have 2 guns, one for each other.
And all these people want to do is fuck. Like, they just want to go back to the cabin and just have fuck. I just want to get fucked up and play some cards.
I remember the weekend.
They want to get fucked up and have lots of sex. So you got these weird. And actually, dude, like the characters in this were so different than any of the Jasons so far. They're just like, they seemed real. Like the characters seemed real. None of it was serious, but I was actually into these people. I was actually sad to see some of them die. When Crispin Glover ate the shit, I hated it. I wanted him to fucking live. When Teddy, I actually liked Teddy, even the annoying guy. I fucking liked it.
He's alright. I think that the most interesting aspect of the dynamic between him and Crispin Glover were the more comical and good parts. Because the acting actually was pretty solid, because you got Crispin Glover and Corey Feldman, who are known to be good actors, and the other guys weren't bad either. But you're right. It did have more believable characters as far as what they were going through and what they were talking about, what they were doing. And rather, when the lines were delivered, they weren't delivered with such a wooden acting skill. Like the other 3, a lot of times, like, I don't understand anything, guys.
Yeah.
Like it just didn't feel real. But this one actually felt real in that aspect. So
totally did. Oh, and we can't forget, before I forgot to go on and we gotta mention Banana Girl.
Yeah, she was a random death.
That shit was fucking awesome. Like, as soon as that happened, I was like, oh fuck, yeah, I love this movie. Because she's just this weird fucking girl on the side of the road. And Jason shows up, which that was actually Tom Savini in that scene, by the way. It was his feet and his arms. And, stabs her or whatever, but she squeezes the fucking banana, and all I could think was, adore your rules. Adore your
She's gonna throw that banana pill and somebody's gonna slip on it. But
it spit out of her mouth, there's just,
I could just think Jason Figure was like, I'm a fucking apple guy, so you're dead. It's like, you have too much potassium, slit the fucking, I mean, the deaths came pretty hard and fast, and I like that. I mean, there was a lot of random deaths going on, because Jason's like, I gotta get back home, I got things to do, I gotta clean my fucking place, my mom's gonna kill me, her head's gonna turn around and get mad. But so Jason goes from the morgue, which I always thought, like, they were in the city, right? The morgue had to be the hospital, at least whatever, it kind of looked like the city. I mean, it could have been a small town, but you don't think it's going to be weird that Jason's just walking around the middle of the street trying to find the woods and just be like, I'm going to get the woods and stay off the trail?
It's about as weird as, well, actually, at least it makes sense that
he got an Uber.
It's funny to imagine, or he put it on his bag and was running across the street again like he was. What's really weird is in 2, when he decides to leave Crystal Lake and find that girl in her fucking neighborhood and go in her house.
Yeah, it's just weird to me. It's like, he's not, I don't know. But yeah, so when we get to the lake, what was it? Feldman's sister has an interaction. They all get together, like the teenagers that moved in across from them or rented the cabin. They all kind of get together and start hanging out a little bit. And Feldman, the cool part, I like this guy. There's a part where Feldman and sister are coming back from the lake after the other three all of them were skinny dipping, and Feldman's like, ooh, because a lot of hotsy-totsies out there, huh? And she's like, we're too young for this. And they gets back in the car, and their car breaks down, and then out of nowhere, fucking Chris Redfield from Resident Evil shows up with his satchel bag and everything with a knife. And I mean, you know what his motives are. He was like, I'm hunting bear. And like, and then Feldman's like, I smell bullshit. He's like, you're not hunting bear. And he's like, I'm hunting bear, kid. And it just, you know, he looked like the iconic hero of a movie. Like, he's got like a fucking machete on his eye.
Fixes her car with a fucking knife.
Yeah, I mean, he just looked badass. Like, I like the guy. I mean, I think his name's Bill Dyer or something, or Dryer. I mean, even the name sounded like a fucking hero from like Resident Evil. But anyway,
he eats a lot of beef jerky.
And you know what I thought was weird? I guess it's just the innocence of the 80s at that point. When they go back to their house, because after he fixes their car, they give him a lift. He's like, Corey Feldman's like, let me show you something, it'd be really cool. And he like takes him into the house with him, and mom doesn't know who the fuck he is, and sees her little boy leading this grown man upstairs. And she's like, I'm Mrs. And she's like, who is your friend? I'm like, that would... So you didn't think it was a little weird that a dude with a machete on his fucking side is with your little boy going up to his bedroom?
And the questions he was asking, he was like, so are there any young kids who are bound to get murdered while they're having fucking sex here? They're like, no, that's a weird question to ask.
I know, I was like, I don't think I'm going to give you a lift now.
Yeah, come hang out in my kid's room.
But, you know, it was cool. It was a cool little scene. I mean, it was innocent, I guess, in a way, because it was in the 80s. But Corey Feldman showing him all his props and stuff.
I like that.
Yeah, it was pretty neat. And the guy's like, you know, he's trying to hang out with him. Then he leaves. And he has a tent set out there, and you know he's going straight Congo on this bitch. Like, he's gonna have laser grids set up, and he's gonna catch Jason. I mean, you don't have to, like, he doesn't reveal that at that point, but it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that that's exactly what his motives are. Like, he wants to catch Jason.
Then they try to tie him in with another character, and let's be honest, who gives a fuck? They tried to really like tie the canon together.
I had to go back and look. It was Sandra from part 2.
If you don't even try, because when you try to put these movies together and connect them, like 90% of the shit doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah, that's what his motives are. His sister got killed, and now he's out for revenge.
So,
but I don't. Then there's what. We got to get to some of the killings. One thing I will say about when Jason does kill, you actually see how dirty and nasty his fucking hands are, so he's already like rotting and shit.
I liked this Jason a lot. It didn't have my favorite look of any Jason. Like, he looked fine. There was nothing wrong with the way he looks. It's just the look of him didn't stand out to me. But what did stand out to me was how vicious he fucking was.
Yeah, before we get into this, I want to talk really about the relationship build.
Glover's dance scene.
Yes. He looked like he had ants in his panties. Like, I mean, it was the weirdest dance of all time. And like, crispy, if you're trying to get crispy with this fucking girl, it's not...
I loved it.
Dude, I mean,
loved it.
He's like, this is a good song. He's like, you can't dance. He's like... it was the most awkward thing, and the girl was like, I guess. And everybody's watching him. I was like, you have no fear for one, but you really need to pick the song better. And that's when I think his name's Paul. I don't know. The one with the baseball cap goes out there and changes to like some kind of Frank Sinatra bullshit. I'm like, okay, you just killed the mood vibe.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's the only thing
I'm not going to get laid, but fuck you.
Teddy was a rapey motherfucker.
Teddy bear kiss.
Yeah, he was like, she's like, I need another drink. I'm like, oh, okay, well, you bombed out on that one.
Yeah.
And then she goes over and McSlutson that she is, she starts hitting on the other guy with the hot girlfriend, and she's like...
Got to feel for Teddy in that scene, man.
Teddy's like, what the fuck am I going to do? Like, I don't understand. Like, I pulled out my best weapons, and it didn't work. And, you know, Crispin Glover's, like, striking out, too, and they're both pissed off at this point because Paul, Mr. Baseball Cap, for some reason, he's, like, they all find him attractive. He starts dancing with this girl, and at that point, Teddy's over on the steps with Crispin Glover, and he's like, can you believe this asshole? When the one girl, the guy's girlfriend, gets pissed off, runs to the lake to be alone. I did too, but she was hot. I don't know why you let that ass go, because, I mean, the other Doublemint twins was hot too, but that you had a sure
he made it obvious right in front of his girlfriend that he was trying to get with this chick. I was like, you're such a fucking asshole, Steven.
Maybe he was like Kevin from American Pie. Enough of this BJ bullshit. I want to get laid. Real nice. But anyway, so she runs off to be alone, and we think that Paul's going to get on with the other girl, and he's like, I can't do this. He actually turns out to be a decent guy at that point. And then that's when Crispin Glover sneaks in. But again, Slutson that she is, she's like, I like you now. And he's like, at this point, Crispin Glover's like, I've been called dead fuck. I've been missing out. I did my best dance moves, and I still wasn't getting anything. At this, I don't care. You're a slut. I know you are, but I want to have sex, and that's going to be
good. First he's like, but you wanted him first. She's like, but now I want you. And he was like, I'm going to carry you too. Fuck it. Let's go have sex.
And in the meantime, while she's out on the boat, by the way, I didn't mention that, but Jared Leto / Johnny Depp guy was hitting on the virgin girl the entire time, and they have something going on. But again, it's like over here, and I don't care because it's really not that important. But
No, I think they had been together for a while. She just wasn't sure if she was.
I don't think they were together. I think that she was.
Punani.
I think he just liked her.
Nah, who cares?
But that's what I'm saying. It was something going on. But the little guy, don't worry about that.
What's funny about the next kills we're going to talk about when they go into, because you know she runs off angrily. She runs off angrily, and then, like you said, he grows conscious and goes out to get her. But they both reach a point in the woods that for some reason they go. It was like there was a sign that the camera didn't see that was like, take off your clothes point, you know? Because they both just get butt naked in the middle of the woods. She's like, I guess I'll get naked now.
Well, the girl that ran off into the, the main girlfriend in it, when she goes on the canoe, is just laying there.
Yeah.
Which is weird. You're not sunbathing. That's just weird that you're laying on a boat.
She thought she heard him when it was really Jason that was about to kill that ass, so she got naked.
But what if you got a splinter in your areola? Like, you're laying on a boat that's woody and you got no
No, it was a raft. There was no wood.
Well, you know why Jason fucking like stabbed that bitch underneath like Jaws, and you know why he did that? He's like, did you rent these or did you just steal it? He's like, fuck no, not on my leg. He's like, because you had to pay at least $35, and I don't think that you gave me that. But yeah, he kills her, and then the boyfriend runs out there and sees that she's dead, and then how did he get it? I don't remember how he got it.
Her death scene was great though, dude, because like
it comes up through
the way that she died was just fucking. It was so weirdly sexual, like because he was stabbing in and out, all around, in and out, but she was doing that. The way that they had to set that shot up, she was going, She just kept going and going and going. I loved her react. One of my favorite reactions to a death scene of all time.
Yeah, that was a good death scene. I don't remember how the boyfriend got it though. I can't remember when he goes in the lake. I don't know.
Oh, dude, God, fuck yeah, I remember. It was one of the most painful deaths of all time.
Oh yeah, in the dick. Oh my god.
Not only did he shove the harpoon into his dick hole, but then he pulled the fucking trigger and shot him up a little bit further. Like that's just like. That's triple stamp and a double stamp.
That's almost like, another horror icon would walk out and was like, Jason, that's far enough. I mean, come on, don't take his fucking manhood that bad. I mean, you're pissed off, I understand, but you just chopped that man's tip down to a mushroom fucking salad. Like, it's awful what you've done. Yeah, that was a bad one. That really did make your nuts swell up.
It looks fucking sweet, though.
But, in the meantime, the only thing I didn't like, we never really we got scenes with Tommy in it, Corey Feldman, but not enough for my opinion. Like, I wanted him to be in it more, but I guess they didn't want it to be like a little kid story versus like a monster. So, even though that would have been a cool twist, like having the monster, which is like, a Frankenstein kind of horror monster versus the little kid. I mean, but then everything like Monster Squad
they gotta get the kills in. So we leave Tommy over here in the house a little bit. We do kind of a Halloween like house to house thing for a bit, and then one of the best kills is young Jared Leto in the shower after finally getting some ass. He's standing there and he's singing or whatever and just being himself. And then Jason, it reminded me a lot of H4 when Michael squished Brady, his face. He gives him the fucking just...
Yeah, he does. He squished the shit out of it.
Old squishy face. Pushes his face into the fucking tile.
And keep like breaking his nose while he's doing it.
God damn, one of the best kills of the series. And then the aftermath was one of the best looking aftermaths too, because he's laying on that fucking glass and he's all cut up and shit like that. Really cool fucking scene.
Well, and then I actually liked he didn't get the proper respect that was due, but Crispin Glover fucking gets it. Like he said, where's the wine cork? And the way his fucking stupid face was like, seriously, Teddy, where's the wine cork? And then all of a sudden he puts his hand down, Jason's like, here it is, and stabs the shit. He's like, oh, there it was. And then he puts like a axe right through his fucking neck or his head or something. And
it's the butcher's knife that he puts in the middle of his face.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of fucked. I mean, it's not like the greatest death scene of all time, but it was. Maybe Crispin Glover deserved to stay alive a little longer.
Right, it's a good death scene, but Crispin Glover deserved better for his character in the film.
And then while all this is going on, Teddy's high as fuck. He's sitting there watching an old porn on a reel-to-reel, like he's having a good time with that projection. I mean, he's not getting the ass. So at this point, he's like,
we've all fucking been there. Like you're the only, you're one of the only few people that just didn't,
score that.
Or either that, or like it was just a sausage fest party and everybody's going to bed, or like fucking everyone just brought their girlfriends and it's just you, and then you just decide.
So you pull out the magic and you start smoking weed and watching weird porn.
You just get really fucked up and watch SportsCenter and or porn or YouTube
or both or whatever.
Everyone's been there.
Or ESPN with porn.
And you know what? You end up having a pretty good time. Sometimes it's fun to play with yourself.
Yeah. Except he was doing it in the middle of the living room with a recliner, so that'd be a little weird. It'd be like Jonah Hill from fucking Wolf of Wall Street just pulling his dick out, starting to jack off to Margot Robbie.
Well, not totally literally. I mean, it's fun to do that, too.
But yeah, so he's sitting out there and he's having a good time, and he doesn't care. I mean, all this killing's going around, and he doesn't hear a fucking thing. I mean, because you're high as hell, so you don't even believe it. He goes up there.
He was actually high for that scene.
Was he really? Yeah, it seemed like it. But he goes up to the projection screen. The projection, like, Michael's like, I don't want to see tits. I don't like that. And he, like, pulls it away, and then he's like, what happened? and then popped him right through the fucking back of the head with the machete. Again, not the most amazing scene of all time. We've seen those kind of... I mean, I'm feeling weird now, though. We've been talking about great and good death scenes. I mean, I guess we're... Like,
what matters.
The community is the only kind of people that we can actually come to and talk about this, because if you're talking to anybody else, like at work or something, like, I really enjoyed the death scene on this one, when he pulled his arm out and stuffed it in his butt and fucked him with it. I thought that was really creative the way he died, but when somebody would just push the guy off the roof and he splattered, and you saw his intestines, I was just like, maybe a 6. People would be like, so you're not coming into work tomorrow, right? I'm like, no, it's good.
Speaking of which, one of the Doublemint twins needs to cut down on the fucking carbs, because after her sex scene, dude, or I don't know if she was the one with the sex scene or not, but fucking Jason grabs her out of a window and throws her on top of a car, and when she lands on the car, it looks like fucking when Batman in The Dark Knight fell from the top of the thing with Rachel!
Yeah.
And the fucking car windows, like, she hits the
whole
roof
thing
of it,
exploded.
and I mean, it looked badass.
Yeah.
It looked cool as shit, but I mean, it looked like a fucking bomb went off inside that car.
Well, I mean, Jason just threw that bitch down with authority. He dropped the mic on that whore hair. He was like, boom! It's like, Kane does it again with the fucking choke slam. The mom. Like, what happened to her? Like, I guess she died, but we never saw her die.
There was an alternate ending that they decided to leave out because the movie already had so many fucking deaths in it, where at the very end of the movie, the final shot is her finding her mom dead in the bathtub, and then like she picks her mom up and hugs her, and then her mom's eyes open and they're just white, and she's like a zombie or some
That's
shit.
weird, okay.
But he killed her. The bitch
so
dead.
she's dead, but you just didn't see it. And so when he runs back to the house to check on what's going on, he leaves Tommy to hold the fort down, and Tommy's not, he's a kid, so he's not understand what's happening. They run over the house, they see all the dead bodies, and then when he goes into the fucking basement to find Jason, it's funny because that girl runs down there with a machete, and he's like, he's killing me! My God, he's killing me! After Jason's fucking him up, he's like, run! He yells at the girl to run while he's getting his intestines split open, and she is like frozen in shock. My ass is Roadrunner at that point, like you just see smoke. But she leaves for a second, comes back to look, like he's dead. Like you saw him get stabbed hundreds of times. I think they wanted to
show like that she was too good of a person to just leave him there no matter what. But no matter what, like you still let him die. I mean, like I don't know what she could have done.
Not let him die. He got stabbed more times than fucking anybody else, and he, to his credit, he must have had a lot of stamina because he was still yelling out, "He's killing me!" And Jason's like, "Yeah, I am. Would you just please let me do this in silence?
Would you please just fucking die?" Yeah, that was the thing. Like you expected this guy to have a great fight with Jason. Like,
yeah, I thought it was gonna be.
And then Jason, no, he just went down to the washroom. Jason was like, "Oh fuck it," and you couldn't see it. It's a neat death because the audibleness of it, like the way you heard it. But it was funny because it just kept going. He's like, "Oh God, he's killing me, Barbara! Oh fuck! I forgot to pick up my dry cleaning. My mom's gonna be so disappointed."
It felt like that point almost was a spoof, and like you think that like a little caption would pop up, Academy Award with the winner, Academy Award performance right now, like in The Mask or some shit. But yeah, that happened, and then she runs down there. Obviously, Jason's hiding under the steps. Like he grabs her fucking leg, and that was a gnarly. When she stabs his fucking hand and it goes through his thing. Oh no, that was later on. But she stabs him to get him off him, and she chases him through the house.
I liked her for that though, because her instant reaction was no, fuck you. She went on the offensive and chopped his fucking hand.
But she jumps through the window up the upstairs, and Jason's like, well, damn. He's like, that girl's hardcore as hell. He's like, I was just gonna break your neck, but if you're gonna like paralyze yourself before I do that, okay. And then she gets up and runs back to her house. Jason gives chase, and it's funny though, because when she runs into Tommy, she had told Tommy to run, and Tommy didn't want to run. Like she's like, God damn it, Tommy! And then you see Jason like a sly cat coming up the door. He's like you can just see his fucking his eyes are probably moving like she doesn't hear me. And then she does this like psychic thing. She's like, boom, and he's like, oh shit, she saw me. And Jason tries to stop her or whatever because Jason's like, oh shit, she's got a fucking machete too. And it goes right through his fucking fingers, and it just hurt me to see it, like the effects. And he looked at his hands like, damn. He's like, that was deep. And in the meantime, Tommy's upstairs because again, Tommy's a prop master, and he'd been reading articles as this movie had been progressing about what young Jason looked like and the killings and all that stuff. He's shaving his head. We don't know what he's doing exactly, but he's got a picture of young boy Jason, what he was thought to look like, maybe doing something in the bathroom. I don't know, jacking his meat one more time before he gets killed. But so
I've always wanted to do this.
Yeah, he's like,
shave my head
while I'm doing it, and I'll jack off. But yeah, so the girl runs. Jason's on chase, and again, Jason's running again in this. Jason still runs, which is all right. I don't mind that.
Yeah, I like it.
I like the slow gait walk that most of the fucking killers do, but when they're running, it makes sense.
I like it.
So I'm not sure exactly. I can't remember how he got. Oh well, he's getting ready to actually take her down. Like she's gonna die. And then Tommy runs down the steps and is bald, looking like Jason. He's like, Jason, do you remember me? And like showing.
He missed so many spots.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That was one of those like OCD moments. Like I want to just shape that part and that part.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's kind of weird. You think like. If this is just any other scene, and it wasn't the final girl, and this wasn't the end of the movie where you know there's going to be a chase scene, while Tommy's up there fucking shaving his head, you know, he's going through all these, he's got to shave it, then he's got to actually shave it, he's putting on the makeup, whatever he's doing. She could have died 16,000 times while he was up there shaving his head, and then he would walk downstairs and be like, oh, well, fuck, this was pointless. You know?
I think that Jason was, you know, and that kid had a whole set of hair. I was like, you didn't do that in 5 minutes.
That's like when you're late for work, but you decide to go ahead and just poop.
Yeah. Like, I'm going to be late, Barbara. I'm sorry. I got to take a dump. It's a major
I have to do this thing right now. This is a very inopportune time, but I feel like shaving my head.
Maybe the thing is, maybe Jason just was like taking his time killing her because his hand really fucking hurts. He's like, it really hurts. Like, he's like, I don't know what to do with it.
He's like Ace Ventura.
It just keeps hurting. It alternates. Because I think he got in the leg too. I mean, he was all sorts of fucked up too. And you know, he still had the axe to his head, and that probably still hurts.
Sore.
So anyway, when he turns around, I guess Tommy's like trying to get to a psychology part, like reminding him of himself, and he looks like him, which is not a compliment to Tommy. I was like, you really want to grow your hair back out immediately.
And he popped his collar too.
Yeah, and
his clothes are also way too tight. He just looks fucking weird.
So Jason's
like Smashing Pumpkins.
Jason's like watching him walking towards him. He did look like that guy, like the young version of him. But Jason's reaching out for him, and in that moment, the girl reacts, and she stabs him through with something, and then he falls down. I'm blurring on the end part because I know he dies, but the only thing I can remember is when Tommy fucks his shit up with the machete and starts screaming, "Die!"
Well, she fucking hits him, and she knocks the mask off him.
Yeah.
But then Tommy's like, "No, fuck that shit," and he went ham and like fucking got him right in the middle of the face. But then, dude, when Jason falls on the machete. One of my favorite kills of the entire franchise.
Gruely.
It looked so, like you could tell it was a latex mask like moving, but with the blood and the noise and just the way they shot that,
it almost like cleaned his fucking whole scalp off.
Fucking awesome, because it just fell down it.
And then obviously at this point you're like, holy shit, that's gotta be it. Like it just pushed his brain over and out of his head. And then Tommy's sitting there and they're hugging or whatever, and then he sees his hand twitch, and I was like, you can't kill Jason. And then he just starts whack-moling him, like fucking killing his ass and screaming die over and over again. He has this weird look in his face.
That is when you kill a wasp and you just can't get it to die, and you're just like, just fucking die!
I was thinking the same thing, but it was more of a spider.
Yeah.
Like, I hate fucking spiders.
You got that magazine roll?
Yeah, he's like, die! Michael, die! But she's all screaming at the same time, like, Tommy, stop! Like, are you fucking kidding me? This big motherfucker might come back. He's just making sure it's not gonna happen. We jump cut to the hospital. She's recovering. The cops have come. Everything's good. You don't see the cleanup in this part. And then she's like, but what about what you said about Tommy? And they're like, it's normal. Like he was in defense mode. Like he did whatever he could to survive. Like don't worry about it. He's not crazy.
Outside playing basketball.
Yeah, he's fine. He's like, it's not a big deal. He plays Mortal Kombat.
We just found this kid with the shaved head makeup on, and he just stabbed Jason in little bits. It's gonna be great.
So he's hanging out the doorway, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And then they hug or whatever. And then Tommy gives this weird fucking look at the camera, like, he's like, I know what you did last summer. Like it was like, okay, I was like, are you gonna be Jason now? Like I was thinking, like, please God, don't do that. But that was in the end, as far as what the final chapter being Jason. But then it couldn't be the end for them because they knew they wanted to leave a sliver of something in there by giving him a weird look at the camera.
What one of the guys said was obviously they decided to do more movies because the look they gave it was on purpose. They admitted that. One guy said his idea at that time was to have Jason become this thing where the evil, movie by movie, was transferred to a different person.
They did that
like
later on.
Right, but I mean, like he wanted to keep going that way. Like every single movie, it's a different killer, starting with Tommy Jarvis. I think Corey Feldman thought that he was going to become like the next famous serial killer. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that idea would have sucked ass, and I don't like that idea anyway. I mean, the whole idea of Jason is that he is an unstoppable being. You might as well just say, well, they tried that in Halloween 6. They tried to do the same kind of shit with Michael.
Yeah.
So I mean, at that point,
which was way later.
Yeah, you're jumping. I know, but I'm just saying you're jumping all over the place at this point. Just say that he can't die, or say the look that he gave you. It's maybe I don't know, you could have done anything else, but having that one look just lets you know that there was going to be a sequel to it in some way or some fashion. And
it's funny, dude, because that was the time, like, I mentioned this earlier, like, they wanted to stop making these movies because, like, at this time, critics and everybody were going after him saying it was sadistic to make these kind of movies and titties and killing and all the things that we all love.
At the end of the day, this movie is a 6.5 for me as far as, like, I like this movie a lot. It's not my favorite Jason movie, but it is, I mean, as far as what I can say about the plot and the way it goes and the way it moves and the way it makes you feel, it's the more solid of almost all of the other Jason movies that came out. There are other Jason movies that did a really good job, like Part 5. I don't like it for certain reasons. I mean, most people don't. But as far as storytelling, it's not bad. This one has the best solid storytelling, and it really felt like the 80s. So, yeah, I think a 6.5 is fair.
This is going to seem really high to some people, dude, but I'm going to give this movie an 8.5.
Wowzer.
I fucking love it. It's one of my favorite slasher movies, dude. I don't know. The kills are great. They're mean. They're grotesque. Jason's great. The actors I like a lot. Crispin Glover, his relationship with his friends is great. Corey Feldman, the 80s feel you were talking about. I fucking love this movie. So I give it an 8.5, and I'm not goddamn ashamed of it, Joseph.
The only thing missing was Billy Idol's soundtrack. And then we had a perfect setup for awesomeness. But yeah, at the end of the day, what do you guys think about it? Is it one of your favorite Friday the 13th, or is it one of your least favorite Friday the 13th? Did you like Corey Feldman's performance, or did you not like his performance? Do you think it was over the top, that they tried to make him Jason, or even have an illusion or an allude to that fact? What do you guys think? I just want to know your thoughts on God.
Most importantly, because I'd really like to meet him. Most importantly, how do you guys feel about spicy food? Do you like it? Do you not like it? What's the spiciest thing you've ever had? And do you constantly get the shits immediately after eating?
Depends on when you eat it. If you're going to eat it the night before and you got to work the next day, you're going to be fucked. Because your asshole will bleed.
I used to be able to fuck up spicy food. The hottest shit that you could find, I was all inside of it. I fucking loved it. I basically, like, every single thing I eat, I douse in the hottest of hot sauces. But as I get older, I realize I can't really do that.
But it just makes you poop too much.
It's not the mouth pain, it's the poop pain afterwards. Like, it just doesn't last.
You hate bleeding from your butthole.
So, we'll be back with part 5. Comment down below with your all thoughts. We love your fucking faces. And if you're new to the channel, click that subscribe button and get some goddamn wham up in you. This isn't our house, and obviously the fucking cops are here.
Here we go. By the way, you imagine though if you had a hot ass enchilada and Jason was like stalking you down, and you wouldn't even care at that point. You're like, just put it into the pain.
That one guy who pooped in the later was like, oh, with them enchiladas.
Yeah.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did a review. We watched a movie. We watched a movie.